All set. Highlights and break. Noonas Podcast. Noonas Podcast with Jenni and Ginny. This is the Noonas Podcast with Jenni and Ginny.
Dual set. Heart to heart. Noonas Podcast. Vida. Welcome back to the Noonas Podcast. As always, with your hosts, Jenni and Ginny.
Good evening. It's evening here and we're recording.
It's evening. It's actually evening when we're recording. Very late evening when we're recording, but that's just kind of how it works with us. Apparently, just fit it in whenever.
Record whatever we want, whatever our schedule's like.
Whenever they sync up. Which, it's been a while since we recorded because unfortunately I got sick. Not COVID. Yeah. It has not been COVID. Fortunately, there's been COVID scares and people have gotten COVID, and we'll get to that in our news stories. But no, I did not get COVID. Thankfully, I just got a little bit of a weird head cold thing that knocked me out for a little bit after my vacation, or actually while I was on vacation into post vacation. So kind of coming back a little bit late. So we actually have a lot of news and album reviews to get to this week. We have a whole slew. We have a whole jam-packed show, I think, this week. This may be
news and reviews, and all the fun jazz.
Yeah, I mean, this is gonna be a fun full show, I think, today. I mean, we have album reviews this week from some staple groups. I mean, we have a full album review this week coming from Twice with their third full album, Formula of Love. I'm not doing the formula because I feel like that's something I would see like on a high school wall, like O plus T equals less than 3, like that less than 3.
I don't get what it stands for.
I don't either. I'm not sure. I think it's once plus twice, because O is once, but T is twice. I think that's what that is.
Okay, because I keep on thinking about the OTP shift terms.
Once you pair, I guess.
True.
This is not stemming off the whole fan fiction topic that we talked about in our last episode. I swear to God. Not at all. But we also have reviews this week from Monsta X. He's coming back with this is their 10th mini album, if you can believe it. Their 10th EP. That they just came out while we were off on a little bit of a break here. As well as a new mini album, as well as SF from SF9, and a little bit of a digital, a single release from Hwasa of Mamamoo. Mm-hmm. She dropped a couple tracks that correlated into a little mini digital single that she dropped.
Yeah, it's like three songs.
3 songs, but all good songs. But we'll get to those in a little bit. We'll get to all those in a little bit here, but we, like I said, have a whole bunch of news that dropped. Some, I guess, more, I don't know, scandally news. Some news coming up with all the awards happening, some good news, some COVID news. We're kind of all over the board today in the news.
All over the place. Some good, bad news. The good, the bad, the ugly in the K-pop industry.
Yeah. Yeah, should we just start off with the ugly news of the week, I guess? Because I feel like this is probably the ugliest story coming out of the week, honestly.
Yeah, which
but you brought up to me, because I didn't know I didn't know about this one. You brought this one up to me.
Oh,
so me getting into this, and I was just like, oh.
We're already at that stage now. It's just like,
yeah, especially because we're like way past it actually has happening. Like, I wasn't around when this was like live happening, which kind of happy I wasn't, because I'm sure Twitter was a hot mess when this was happening live, like real time, and I'm kind of happy I wasn't around because but let's just get into it, and let's just get into our first news story of the day, because this one we might be talking about for a little. This tea we might be talking about for a while, and this is some piping hot tea. So this I'm trying to figure out how we're going to talk about this one, because this is like a whole lot of juicy stuff. But this is all regarding from the group Blackswan, which we've talked about a couple times on the show. which is now a 4-member group because one of the members she wasn't really kicked out, but she kind of was kicked out because she was found she was kind of extorting money from people.
I forgot about that.
You forgot about the Howme, like right after they debuted that she was found she was kind of extorting money from people. There's been a lot of stuff from this company, and unfortunately, because this group I feel like has been rebranded like 3 or 4 times because it used to be Rania, and then they were Blackswan, and then it's just been it's a whole mess. But
from the get-go too, it was just like they couldn't catch a break. It's like I don't think like the company or the group is not meant to be, which it kind of feels sad because I like I like the members, and I'm really supporting idols who are people of color who are not Korean, joining into this industry. Is like, man.
Yeah, and that's what makes this harder too. So, because this really pretty much revolves around 2 of the members. This really much revolves around the 2 members, Fatou and Leia, who are so Fatou is of, I believe she's of Belgian descent. I know she's of European descent.
Yeah, Belgian and Senegalese.
And Senegalese. So she's Belgian, Senegalese. And then Leia is Brazilian Japanese. So there's a lot of mixing of cultures in this group. I mean, the other 2 members, I believe, are a little bit more are Korean. The two people that we're talking are like the people who are not Korean. So that's unfortunately are not Korean, but they are members of this group. And I mean, I just start off my notes with but this was a hot ass mess. Because basically it all started with some stuff that came up on from a Brazilian fan account from Leia back on November 12th. And this was all in Portuguese. This was all kind of translated. And it basically was from a Brazilian fan account of Leia that uploaded some private messages that supposedly came from a family member of Leia saying that Leia was being bullied by Fatou since the beginning of October. Like she's being intimidated, oppressed, and provoked and stuff, and it's just been getting worse and worse and worse through October into November. And just because of that, that's why she's been so quiet during live streams, why she hadn't been so active on social media. They said that Leia went to go talk to managers and the president of their agency, which is DR Music, and that nothing was done. And then the pictures of the 2 of them, of Leia and Fatou, had been deleted, and apparently fans had noticed that too. However, some fans were kind of go ahead.
Yeah, you even like notice even notice the environment, like when they're doing V lives, that they're always like separated and like interacting well with each other. So it's like barely you can see it. So that's kind of see like the signs.
So there's kind of some signs noticed, but there's still some skepticism to it because again, it was like a fan account, and like obviously people weren't sure like if it was like legit or not, because sometimes fan accounts sometimes are not as necessarily obviously like the bastion of accurate news. However, what kind of got the ball rolling further is when Leia liked a post from her own personal Twitter account, and the post had basically translated said, "Fuck, she's Brazilian. Of course, if any shit happened to her, family would expose it. They should really know the agency's history." And then it was immediately unliked after it had been liked by fans. And then after that happened, Leia tweeted after basically being quiet on Twitter for almost 11 months, saying, and this is also translated because her Twitter is mostly in Portuguese. And this is all translated saying, "I don't think it's nice to keep talking about other people's Portuguese. Everyone knows that in Brazil, not everyone has the option or opportunity to study." Little smiley face at the end. And then because of that, some fans started leaving some, let's just say, racial comments towards Fatou in response to kind of back Leia, which I will say some fans also decried, saying to not do that. So basically there was a lot of strife now starting in the fandom. I believe in their fandom name is what's their fandom name? Lumia, I believe. Lumia. So in Lumia, there was a lot of strife starting to form in there because people were, there were some people leaving some very racist comments towards Fatou, regarding this. And so in response to that, a couple days later, Fatou responded in a very, very, very long Twitter message. I think it was like multiple tweets that have now also been since deleted, claiming that she had tolerated Leia's manipulative and disrespectful behavior until Leia basically disrespected her Fatou's family while the group was in Belgium.
Yeah. That part, like, where like she crossed the line and is like, okay, now that's it, I'm done.
Yeah. Like, she was basically embarrassed in front of her family. Like, they got, because they were got to go to Europe and got to go to Belgium, and because of that, Fatou got to see her family for the first time in a couple of years. And I guess Leia got all kind of uppity about it and said, well, why do we get to see Fatou's family? Why can't I see my family? And at that point, Fatou kind of snapped at her. And I guess she said things that she said she immediately regrets. But also this stuff had also been kind of building, because she kind of built up into, before the whole thing happened in Belgium, where she has got stories about how Leia kind of is manipulating and gaslighting consistently, and how she's telling lies, and she's not very much of a team player, and it's more about me. Based on her statement, and she said she brought up a story where they were promoting for their current comeback for Close on Me, and that she was supposed to take selfies for their Instagram, and for the family manager asked Fatou to take pictures for their Instagram. And then Leia came up to her and said, "Oh, can we take pictures together?" And Fatou said, "No, I have to take little selfies for the fan Instagram." And apparently,
she kind of threw a fit because of that. Like the thing that they're supposed to be doing, get some solo shots. Didn't Leia get the memo?
Yeah, well, and then apparently, because Leia went to the management saying that Fatou's being mean to her or something, and manipulated the story, saying Fatou doesn't like her, and that's why she didn't want to take pictures with her. So she was manipulating the story to her advantage. And then she's also overheard Leia apparently talk behind her back constantly, on the phone to her friends about the group, and that even, like I said, she's seen her manipulate, and lie, and even when 4 to 5 people in the room know the truth, she constantly does that. And then this, I don't know if this was really right of her to bring up, that she brought up that Leia has some mental health issues and she's on medication, because apparently she flipped the story and blamed Fatou, that the reason she's on medication is because of Fatou, and not the fact that she's always currently been on medication, apparently. So, yeah, so it was just basically a lot of back and forth between that. And so a lot of fans were just like, what the heck? You know what I mean? And it really wasn't until almost 5 days after this, because it wasn't until the 20th of November, then DR Music finally put out an actual statement, a long statement. They put it out both in Korean and English to their fans, basically stating they have a lot of internal talks to how to work better together. I like this line in the statement, which is, however, a constructive argument between members about the better completion of their work should not provocatively be framed as bullying, and so further discord within our team. So it's just I love how people were because again, DR Music is not exactly a bastion of great stuff happening.
Great reputation of managing their groups well.
Pretty much. So they've had a lot of issues in the past. So yeah, especially because, like I said, Blackswan's been rebranded a couple times. They used to be a group called Rania, so it's been a bit of an issue with their group. And so basically, they talked to, and there's they basically also asked, they said that they're working on it, and to stop with the they asked to stop the fans to stop attacking the members, the families, and the other fans, and to unite as one, and just basically kind of try to quell it all and to stop it. So, I mean, like I said, they were in the middle of promotions when this was all happening with their song, and it's a mess because it felt like a lot of airing and dirty laundry because it's like nobody was really controlling anything. Like this was pretty messy in terms of like information going out to the public in terms of like the image, because you know, a lot of the girl, especially in the girl group side of things, they try to keep these images of the girls, you know, getting along with one another, and then this was pretty much, you know, obviously this is go ahead.
Yeah, but it's always like every single group that has, you know, like to work on a friendship or like build up that kind of charisma where they're all in a great relationship. Yeah, and I mean it's not just girls, but it's, you know, like a lot of, you know,
the guys
groups
too.
But yeah, but we've had like, you know, big examples before, like, you know, remember what with AOA, I believe, yeah, so with the one with Jimin, you know, being outed as a bully.
Right.
So that was like one of like that was a major thing that we had to discuss about before. So
no, that was a major scandal too when that came out, that Jimin from AOA was a huge bully to the other members, to the point that she got kicked out of AOA.
Especially with Mina too, like, you know, like Mina really
because Mina got
struggling.
Yeah, to the point of things she was almost suicidal, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, it got very scary for a while too, especially for Mina's, you know, mental health. But yeah, I mean, and then like I said, like it's just like the way it was handled, I think, between the two members, I don't think was handled well. Like I think they should have been able to talk about it before airing it all out on Twitter. You know what I mean? But obviously it's out there now, and I don't know it's how they're going to come back from this.
Yeah, like, you know how like the company saying like they're trying to like, you know, work it out. But yeah, it's gonna, you know, it's so difficult because after it, you know, I think like that kind of behavior from, you know, Leia has been like, you know, done in a while. So yeah, it's gonna be really difficult to get that over with. They're trying to, you know, mend that relationship and get back on good terms.
And apparently a lot of people had noticed like Leia's constantly been like just kind of been horrible to the other members. Like she is not very much of a team player at all to them. Like she very much is like kind of about
descriptions of like trying, like they wanted to take the center of like a performance, or she wanted to be like the one in the spotlight. So yeah, I wonder if like the other members are taking like sides. Are they like, you know, are they supporting Fatou, or is there like any you know, like I don't know if Fatou said like, yeah, like the other team got my back, but you know, there's even them, it kind of felt like a bit awkward around Leia as well, because she's kind of feel like, you know, oh, it's me. She's coming out as a Karen. You know, in this, like, I don't mean to like make it like humorous because this is really serious, but yeah, like, she's acting like a complete Karen.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I mean, yeah, and also like other people I know, I was reading comments from people who do follow Blackswan a little bit more than I do, and apparently in other live streams, like there's been times where she's like grabbed other members and like she's just trying to make it all about herself, and people have noticed this, in the past. So, but I know a lot of people were also trying to take the middle ground of like trying to wait till everything was like out in the open too. Obviously some fans didn't, because some made very racial comments towards Fatou. And yeah, it's just like overall just seemed like it started as a mess and just continually and perpetually snowballed into a bigger mess. And it was just one of those situations where you almost had to do damage control as soon as possible. And I don't know if DR Music did damage control fast enough, because they waited almost like a week after it started for them to make an official statement on it. I mean, I know they said in the statement they were trying to like wait to get all everyone's like sides and stuff and like try to like quell it, I feel like, and stuff, but it was just it was a mess overall. So I don't know. It just was a mess.
Yeah, I know. I was just like, well, we're going to have to like wait and see if they're going to be continuing on, you know, as a 4-member group, or, you know, they're going to be doing another Rania, like a new formation again. So
Mm-hmm.
anything
Or if they're
can
gonna have to
happen.
take another prolonged hiatus, like I said, because after the whole thing with Hayome, when she was found out she was extorting people, they had like after they debuted, they basically had to take a hiatus like after they debuted and kind of reformat as a 4-member group. So yeah, it's been a very tumultuous time for these girls. So I really don't know what's going to happen, and it's just kind of like I said, and the fans kind of notice this too, and it's messy. It's just messy overall, and that's the best way I can put it. I mean, no other way to do it, and it's one of the messier situations I've seen in K-pop in a while, in a long while. So, but I mean, I guess also speaking of messy, and then also girl groups too, because this is also kind of messy a little bit too. And this is regarding the group CLC and Cube Entertainment. So
good old Cube.
Good old Cube Entertainment. It was announced back on the 16th that Cube had released a statement saying that their contract with the member Sorn from the group CLC had been terminated, and because of that, she's also now left the group CLC. And that this decision was a mutual decision, but this also it pegs to note that this is the second member of CLC this year alone to have had their contract terminated and to have left the group. The first being Elkie, who left back in February, having her contract terminated. And this all started kind of back actually towards the end, like right at the end of 2020, like because she put out a legal notice like right at the end of 2020 to Cube, and this is Elkie who had did this because she wanted her contract terminated because she had said that she had not been paid for acting gigs, and the fact that Cube was stopping their according to her, quote unquote, the developmental support of CLC, which, to note, CLC never released an album this year. So the last CLC
album, I think of
one
of the members, going into Kepler as well. So
right, Yejin's gonna be debuting in Kepler, coming, or Yejin's debuting Kepler when Kepler officially debuts in December. Because she even made a statement during an interview, that she was told by Cube that CLC was no longer going to be having group activities, which Cube denied, obviously. And never really said anything after that. And so everyone's like, and fans of CLC have been like kind of seeing this, and like, because CLC's had like some moderate success. Like I really did like their song No back in 2019. Like, and I've heard some of their songs, and I like some of their songs. Like they have a bit of a more like clubbier sound for girl groups, and I kind of dig it. But they've kind of not been like, they're not like on the higher echelon of like girl groups, but they've had, I think, some moderate success, and they were starting to get some really actually worldwide success too, especially towards like 2018, 2019. And for Cube to not pursue them further, it was kind of mind boggling. But again, it's Cube. We don't, they've done some very, mind boggling, pardon my language, shit, in the past.
Yeah, don't you agree, Hyuna and Don?
Yeah, the whole Hyun Don thing, the whole handling of the whole idol scandal earlier this year. Yeah,
Hyujin. Yeah, it's like at that point, like, are they noticing that their net worth or something like dropping? Because I think like the fans are like losing faith in them. So it's like I don't know like how much power like the fans are like gonna realize like how Cube is really messing up like their groups that probably like do something just to get them to know. It's like, oh shit, like we're screwing up business wise.
We're screwing something up, which makes me like hold on to hope for like BTB. I'm like, don't fuck up BTB. Not that they're back at 6. Don't fuck this up. As they're approaching their 10th anniversary, I'm like, please don't fuck this up. Yeah, I mean, it's just because like I know a lot of people like, especially back in August, like as Girls Planet 999 was starting, and Yujin was promoting because she's part of the K team, and then all that scandal, like that weird ass scandal thing, because a couple members of CLC were like judging, and there was some like manufactured drama because again Mnet, from the show Girls Planet, because you know Mnet likes to manufacture drama.
Even what they did with like the Chinese member, even though it's like she had some questionable, you know, moments in the past, but they still kind of made her like editing, make her like the villain.
They really made her the villain, and
damn,
like really, like they took her like more questionable past, and they really like amplified that to like 1,000 and made her the villain, and even though she didn't deserve to be the villain, I thought, but yeah, and then even again, like the whole. I have a lot of feelings on Kepler, and I'm probably going to share them when they actually debut in December, especially with how the whole final voting thing went with Girls Planet 999. Because again, I'm just going back to the whole Produce 101 scandal. Yeah, Mnet.
Have they like found out that someone like rigged the votes again, or it feels like more like a biased vote too.
That, and just seems shady that there was a lot of like, I don't know, Chinese and Japanese people, you know, kind of higher up in the lineup. And then all of a sudden 2 weeks before, all of a sudden a lot of Korean members got really high up. And it's just like, wait, what the heck? You know what I mean? That just seemed very weird, honestly. Yeah. So
suspicious. That's suspicious.
Yeah. Thank you, Nicki Minaj. But yeah,
Cardi actually.
I was going to say Cardi. Damn it. I said Cardi. That is Cardi. That is Cardi doing that. But yes, no, it just, that's what, like, again, I'm also so salty from Kingdom too, but I have other reasons to be salty from Kingdom.
Yeah, but, so we're gonna have a good time when, you know, Mama comes out.
Oh yes, I am. Oh yes, I am. But before we get to actually talking about some Mama stuff, because we have some updates with performances coming up with Mama. In a couple weeks, we actually had some good news to talk about. Let's recap some of this like bad news with some good news. And now Ginny was really excited with this news because this actually came out around the same time too. It was actually some good news to come out of all this like bad news.
Yeah, something that kind of like add some hope in this world. Yeah, big shout out and congrats to Chen from EXO, who is gonna have another child along the way.
Yeah,
and it makes them and it's a good thing that like a lot of fans are showing support now, and you know, like hopefully we're going to have like a new mindset, like for the fans accepting idols who wanted to be in a relationship or you know, already getting married, because you know we see that with Bobby, and you know, a lot of fans are like, you know, congratulating him instead of like lambasting him, like, God damn it, why? No, I'm kidding.
No, because I remember back in January, I remember when it first broke that Chen was getting married and had a baby on the way, and that like EXOs were like so like livid about it. And I'm just saying here, like, good for this dude. Like, he, you know, he found a lady he liked and he's having a kid. Like, I'm happy for him.
Yeah, I get that. That comes off as a shock because that came out of nowhere. Like,
right.
I'm gonna have a kid and, you know, gonna get married. But but I think a lot of fans, like the international fans, were more accepting of this because you know, with Korean fans, like they're like more hard on like their idols or their idols being with someone else. So that
they have a very interesting frame of fandom. I feel like the Korean fans do, at least, like, and I'm just happy that he's having another kid. I mean, currently, like I said, Chen's currently still serving. He's doing his military service right now.
Which is kind of curious why he's been spending his day off or his vacations.
Makes you think, doesn't it? No. Because he's been in. No, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, because he's been in since October 2020, so he should be out early 2022. I think he's like he's doing 18 months, I think, right, for military, I believe.
I guess.
I think because I'm not sure what I'm not sure if he's doing public service or what he's doing. So I can't remember what his actual like what he's doing to serve his time for the military currently is. I can't remember off the top of my head. But
but other than that, well, I do want to bring up like the bad, like the bad reactions that, you know, that are like getting because of Chen having another kid. I want to bring up like this tweet that I saw, which is actually, it's kind of like salty, but I just find it so funny. I just find it so funny. It was like someone, like, it was like a Korean netizen.
Okay.
So they were saying Chen had sex again. Disappointing. I was just like laughing. It's like, God Wow.
Well, damn. I mean,
had sex. Damn it. So
I just feel
disappointed in you.
I just feel like it needs to become a meme or something. I don't know. I just feel very meme worthy. I don't know why, but it does.
Oh, I love how the people who are supporting are still making memes nonetheless. Like you see, like Chen, like having another kid. The Chanyeol, who was like the over competitive person in EXO, is just goddamn. He was just like steaming in the back, like.
I'm just trying to think of like who's the fun uncle in EXO.
Chanyeol.
Easily Chanyeol. Yeah, Chanyeol's easily the fun uncle in the group. Easily, hands down, he's definitely the fun uncle. So, but yeah,
Leia will be the one who like couldn't remember what the baby's name is.
He's like, wait, kid number one.
I just call him baby. No, I just call him baby number one, baby number two.
Baby number one, baby number two.
Wait, do you have a name? Wait, do you have a name?
Oh God, this is horrible. Wow, we're horrible. Anywai.
Oh, Bacon would be a riot. He would be like the funny uncle. Like,
I feel like Kai and Bakun would be fun too, but not as fun as Leslie Chanyeol, but they'd be kind of on the fun uncle side too, I think. But that's just my personal opinion. They also probably get the kid in trouble. They probably get that poor kid in trouble, most likely. But
they would be like the one, grumbling because he's not the baby of the group anymore.
Yes, he would.
There's like a meme of it's like a meme of like EXO trying to explain to Sehun that he's gonna be the baby number 3 because he's like not Chen. You can see Sehun like looking like so pissed. It's like
Sehun is just disappointed. He's just very disappointed.
Tall baby.
It's all baby talk at EXO right now. I mean, understandably so. But let's get into this Mama talk because we got a lot of news coming out of Mama coming up in terms of like what's going to be happening in terms on the performance side of Mama, because we talked about the nominations last week. And now we're talking about who's going to be performing at Mama, as well as some other interesting news that came out because they had a press conference a couple of weeks ago kind of to break some like interesting news of like where they want to see the show go in the future. Mm-hmm. Namely, that they want to potentially have the show be in the United States in the next couple years. Which, okay. I'm also trying to figure out the logistics of how we're going to make that work out in terms of the time difference.
Yeah, like we're gonna like set all the idols, in LA, or I think LA is gonna be like the best LA. Spot. Yeah,
it'd be
LA.
But
no, like having the idols like fly out to get their awards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I get the mindset of like, because K-pop is like it's a growing popular genre in the West, so it makes sense we're gonna like take our award show in the States, so people will like have like more international viewership. I get that choice, but it's still like money wise, or like how you're gonna bring your idols there.
Well, like I get it with like obviously you're gonna have groups performing and stuff there too, like especially if we're gonna have people coming back hopefully in the next couple of years post COVID, hopefully, like we'll get that. But like again, also thinking of the time difference, because me getting my butt up at 3 a.m. to watch Mama because it's at 6 p.m. Korean time. So how the heck are we doing this? Like, so is it like nighttime in the U.S. so it's in the middle of the day in Korea? Like, how is that going to work in terms of like the time zones? Like, I'm trying to figure out logistically like how they're going to do this. Like, it's just weird. I'm like, okay, like I know again a couple years down the road that they're talking about that potentially they want to have it in the States. Even though
they're trying to plan it out, so hopefully they can get their shit together, all sorted out. Not unlike the one like for last year, because that was
no parking
that was a cram, and dusty like factory
dusty parking lots,
venues.
Yeah, like I said, no parking in dusty lots with having idols wait in cold cars, and that was a hot mess last year. Hopefully, it's not a hot mess this year, although it probably will be because I know people are already complaining about the performers, but that's beside the point. I know the first performer that got announced, because this also got announced during the press conference. And this shocked me, even though I shouldn't be shocked because they've had Western artists perform on the show before.
Well, like do the stanky leg, watch me whip.
Mm-hmm. But Ed Sheeran is going to be performing at the Mamas
because
is it because of Permission to Dance? Is that why?
Yeah, because of his the collaboration with BTS before Permission to Dance. Now he's working with other K-pop artists like Sunmi and Jessie.
Oh, that's right, because he just collabed with them.
Yeah, for the Shivers remix, I think. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, but apparently he's going to perform his song "Bad Habits." That's what they said. However, I mean, this news I loved when they announced this, that there's going to be a 101 reunion happening at Mama's 2021, which we haven't seen 101 together. Well, it won't be all of 101 because the only person who won't be there is Quan Lin, because he's currently promoting in China right now. So he's unfortunately not going to be there. But the other members in 101, so it's going to be the other 10 members, are going to at least be on the stage to perform for the first time since they disbanded. Well, they disbanded technically at the end of 2019, but they did have one final concert in 2020. So this will be the first time since 2020, the beginning of 2020, that they'll be all together on the stage performing for everybody. And I know 101 is still really, really loved by the public. Like, their music is still very, very popular. As again, the product of one of the early seasons of Produce 101, they were very, very popular. And because of this, also now there's been rumors and speculation that there's possibly any upcoming album and concerts later on from 101. But there's been already noted from a couple people that I know, they noted that Minhoon, who is from New West, said he's only doing the collab stage for Mama because obviously he's promoting with New West. And then also member Ong Seung-woo, who's now become a very, very popular actor, as well as a really good singer. He's also a very popular actor. He's currently starring in a drama, and he's got 2 films he's slated to be in upcoming later next year. Because of that, he's only doing the Mama performance, and he's not doing anything further with 101. So he's just only on stage for the 101 performance. And so not 100% sure like what's going to happen, if we're going to see any like 101 music, because if we are, it sounds like at least 8 people are going to be there, or at most 8 people are going to be there. But we'll see what happens. I mean, I'm excited to just see 101 on stage again, because I remember seeing them on stage for 2019, and that was really, really cool, because that was like one of the last times people got to see 101 at an award show before they obviously had their contracts end with the Produce 101 winnings and stuff. So and then also with that announcement too, on the press conference, they also announced that the 8 crews who competed on Street Woman Fighter are also going to be performing on the show as well, which Street Woman Fighter again was really, really popular in the ratings later this like kind of late summer, early fall in Korea, and as well as there's going to be a big collaboration stage with, quote, members of the top 4th generation K-pop groups. Which, do you want to speculate, Ginny? Top 4th gen K-pop groups and which members they are?
Okay, well, let's double check. Would it be NCT?
Would NCT be 4th gen?
I don't know. Dream, not really, because Dream won in 2016. aespa, most definitely.
aespa, I'd say Stray Kids. Tomorrow by Together. You have to put ATEEZ. If they don't put ATEEZ up there, people are gonna riot.
Yeah. Did they confirm ATEEZ being or performing?
ATEEZ is already slated to perform.
Okay, yeah.
So, because
I remember it was NCT 127, being slated to perform.
Yeah.
aespa.
I listed out who's already like the specific groups that are slated to perform, but there's supposed to be this big collab stage with like individual members from all and they're saying individual members from like top 4th gen groups. So it's like, which
so
groups are going to be there? Because like we were going to announce they announced this just like over the a couple days ago. They started announcing like the actual groups that are going to start performing on the show, and we got 12 groups that got listed, and it was aespa, ATEEZ, Brave Girls, and Hypen, I, ITZY, JO1, which is a Japanese group that promotes quite a lot in Korea. Kepler, who's not debuted, because those are the winners from Girls Planet 999. They literally debut like a couple days after Mama, technically. NCT 127, NCT Dream, Stray Kids, and Tomorrow by Together. And those are all the groups they've announced currently. Which a lot of people notice. It's like, okay, so wait, no BTS, no 17, no Twice, like...
Their third group is out. They're over.
Well, the only third gen groups in there are NCT, the NCT groups. So everyone else is, and I guess Brave Girls are technically second gen, but everyone else is really fourth gen ish. So because I saw like, you know, like the selection that they did, because I'm kind of wondering, like, is BTS are going to be, you know, attending, right? But they're not going to be performing, which is kind of weird, because I know like they're busy. I know they're busy like performing in the US right now. Right.
So I was wondering, are they going to even attend or what? Well,
because like that's the thing. It's like, well, I mean, because I know last year like they recorded part of their performance, but then obviously they had some of it live for Mama. For the performance last year, but yeah, and I guess, I mean, yeah, I understand why they're not going to probably have time to get anything together, because they're literally putting on 4 concerts right now in the United States. So like that turnaround time, and then they have to fly back to Korea. Like it's really tight. Like, and also because they after the concerts, they have Jingle Ball in the States too, that following weekend. So like they're literally coming back to Korea that week. And I don't think they have to quarantine because they're getting vaccinated. But yeah, I mean, everyone was just kind of like, I mean, a lot of K-Nuts, I mean, I read an article saying like a lot of K-Nuts were like upset because, you know, and they're like, well, we're going to watch Mama because, you know, BTS and all this stuff are not there. BTS. Well, and I think it's a lot of people who I don't think are giving fourth gen groups a chance, honestly. It's like, you know, a lot of people who are like, I don't think have given all these fourth gen groups a chance. A lot of them, because I mean,
Stray Kids a chance last year too, because they were like completely snubbed.
I'm just happy, like I said. I mean, obviously, I know a few of these groups are gonna have put on some amazing performances. Like I know Stray Kids, ATEEZ are gonna lay it out because they always perform very, very well. No, ATEEZ will now, especially because they just announced they're having a comeback literally the day before Mama. So I'm like, now I'm just in here like, what the hell is that gonna be? Hello. But yeah, I mean, it's like, but also like we're getting to that transition period where, you know, fourth gen is now starting to become the dominant generation in K-pop. I mean, yeah, I mean, I know, I guess people were also saying like, you know, it's not going to take, you know, bring the ratings and stuff and blah, 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 blah. But I mean, these groups have very, you know, big international fandoms too. So
yeah.
I don't know.
Most especially Stray Kids too, because they're like one of the leading, you know, leading pioneers of the fourth gen, you know, the fourth gen music, the fourth gen sound. Because I think a lot of like the music so far has been a lot of like really resonated on like the noise part of like the you know, like the music production, and you know, Stray Kids really helped pioneer that sound. Or one of the groups, and ATEEZ as well.
Yeah, and ATEEZ is, I think, led to on the performance side in terms of like what you can do on stage for performance. So
yeah, they really up like their, you know, really up
the ante.
Yes, Kate.
So, and like I said, I don't think this is the final lineup, because there's probably going to be more announcements for artists and stuff too. They always are announcing people up until like a couple days before Mama's. So I don't think this is the final lineup, because there's always a ton of performances. Hence why the show is so freaking long.
Yeah, like they're gonna like have like an 8 hour show. Just, like,
please not, because I'm supposed to go to a Comic-Con that day too. I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna survive this day, but we'll see. Yeah, it's gonna be. I mean, like I said, it'll be very interesting to see how this how Mama's going to be laid out this year, especially because I know like I think they were talking, they were going to try to have some people come in, but I don't know how they're going to do that now, because we're having some more COVID scares in Korea. But yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. But I guess we'll see what happens if it's all like kind of like remote again, or if they're going to actually have like some crowds like, you know, virtually spaced out or something this year. We'll see what happens. But
Yeah.
Because Mama's are in a couple weeks, around December 11th. So we'll
Oh
find
yeah,
out.
and also they just finally narrowed down the top 20 selection of the groups too. So
For the
if you guys
worldwide.
are interested in voting, for the worldwide
Worldwide fan
worldwide
choice.
top artists.
Yeah, if you haven't,
which is that the only one that's the only fans can do?
that's the only one fans can vote on. Yeah, is the worldwide
There's
fans.
no yeah.
So that's the
Other
only.
than like trying to stream their music on Apple Music or something, but it's like
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are definitely focusing on the obviously on that vote. Now that we're on the second half of the worldwide voting, and I could tell you now, I can name off the top 20 groups that are currently left to vote for. So obviously and the groups are BT, and this is actually currently in order from top 1 through 20.
Do you already have it on?
I have it right. I have it here. It's BTS, Stray Kids, Enhypen, NCT Dream, Treasure, NCT 127, 17, Tomorrow by Together, Lisa, Rose, Twice, ATEEZ, Astro, EXO, Icon, The Boys, ITZY, Red Velvet, IU, and aespa. Those are your top 20.
I caught your face when you went to when you mentioned Treasure and your eyebrows were raised.
I'm just because Treasure hasn't really done much this year, and I'm just still
there was no comeback from Treasure this year. That's why I love how you just you have your eyebrows Treasure.
I was just confused. I'm really? Because I feel like they haven't really done much at all this year.
I know. I was who put them in the selection in the first place?
YG. I don't know.
JYP.
No. YG. Damn it. YG stands. I don't know. Also, I don't know. There's a lot of Treasure fans. A lot of 2Mays out there. But
I bet when they get their trophies, they're like, "Thanks, we didn't do anything." Bye.
Yeah, bye. I know. Thank you. Meanwhile, I'm sitting here crying because ATEEZ is stuck in 12th place, and I'm crying. My soul is crying.
I know. Yeah, you put into hard work. Just help campaign for ATEEZ.
Yeah, y'all.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked because NCT Dream was in the bottom 10 list, and they shot up to number 5. Whoa! When
they're number 4 right now. Although it's crazy.
Whoa, when did that happen? Yeah,
I'm sitting here also crazy. BTS and Stray Kids are okay, so BTS obviously overwhelmingly winning right now currently with 15.59%, but Stray Kids is still up there a lot with 13.83. I'm
if
the Stray Kids pulled it off, that would be
if the Stray Kids or the fans pull it off, that is
yeah.
Props to you guys, because I know they've done it in Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
Now
if they can pull off the biggest upset and knock off obviously the Kings, BTS armies would be livid.
Yeah. Oh my God, ARMY! Yeah, please
ARMY
do
would
not
be livid.
attack ever. Yeah, because K-pop Twitter is such a toxic site.
Yeah, I'm saying that's why I'm saying the heck off Twitter right now. That also because concert spoilers from BTS, but that's beside the point.
Yeah, because they all a lot of toxic armies over there is just belittling or just calling out other groups your group sucks. It's geez, calm down.
Yeah,
it's
also,
oh my God,
also I don't know, multi-stan makes your heart fonder, I find. This comes from a multi-stan though. So anyway, hi, that's me.
Multi-stan, yeah. Stop guys.
Hi, multi-stan. Come at us.
Yeah.
Just add us. Anyway.
We like groups more than BTS, man. BTS are the only thing.
As my lightbox does not literally say ARMY or ATEEZ stay because that's me. Anyway, speaking of BTS, at least they got nominated for something in the Grammys this year.
One thing.
Again, other things armies were pissed off about. Because armies are pissed off all the time. But I mean, I think understandably so, because armies pissed off. No, but BTS did get nominated for a Grammy. They did announce the Grammy nominations this past Wednesday with a live stream, and BTS did get at least a nomination for Butter in the Best Pop Duo Group category again, which was the same category they were in last year for Dynamite.
Was that the only thing that they were nominated last year, or were they all nominated for other things?
No,
it?
That was it last year. They were nominated once last year.
I was trying to like figure. I was trying to remember if they were nominated to like more than one.
Nope.
But yeah, like that's the same thing.
It was just once, which it was interesting because they expanded out like song of the year, record of the year, categories from 8 to 10 this year. And it's like, so, and they just did that like at the last witching hour here too, before the nominations came out. And so people were like, oh, Butter might be able to get on there. But no, Butter's not on like for Song of the Year, even though it's like, number one on the Billboard for, record setting.
Like dominating the Billboard,
week. 11, or was it 11 weeks or 13 weeks? One of those two numbers. But it was a long time.
Grammy, like, sorry, I pretend not to see it.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was kind of funny because I watched they dropped the bomb because apparently they were filming James Corden when the live stream was going on, and they got celebratory champagne to do it when they were on the set, but it was kind of funny because apparently one of the fellow nominees is Coldplay. Because Higher Power by Coldplay got nominated too, and Namjoon and RM was like, Chris, we're enemies now. So he was calling out.
There's no more universe.
It was good. I thought it was kind of funny, but because they're competing against, which I find hilarious because it's a lot of featuring artists. It's not like actual groups. Like the only groups,
or duo, like actual duo. I think like it would have been made more sense if Silk Sonic was in that nomination line. Yeah, it was a duo group, and
right?
It's not featuring us.
I don't get it, but yeah, the nominees are "I Get a Kick Out of You," which is Tony Bennett and Lady Gaga; "Lonely," which is Justin Bieber and Benny Blanco; again, "Higher Power" by Coldplay; and then "Kiss Me More," which is Doja Cat featuring SZA; and then obviously "Butter" by BTS. So,
now the question: are they gonna win the Grammy this time, or are they gonna give it to Doja Cat or something?
No, they give it to Lady Gaga. No.
Oh yeah, Lady Gaga and Tony Bennett, because prestigious artists as well. So you want to give that to them.
Mm-hmm. Which, why do I have a feeling that's probably going to happen? Because it probably will.
It's probably going to happen again. I'm kind of like scared too, because I don't know if like it's going to sweep up Mama too this year, or like Melon Music. So if they're not going to get as much from like last year, gonna grab your popcorns and like watch the armies just like explode.
Watch armies evolve.
Like, yeah.
Get your popcorn ready.
I'm support BTS, but I also feel like more artists should like get the awards too. Yeah, and also like ARMY should just calm down, because BTS has been winning this year, or they've been winning these years, so it's only fair to but anyway, still love BTS though, still showing my support.
Same here. I mean, definitely, like, I still love and support them, but like, spread the wealth. Also, because like, again, nice to see more. I'd like to see more, like, especially because like all the stuff like they're talking about. Because I watched the live stream of the nominations, and they're talking about all this stuff about like being more diverse, in their artists and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's like, but she only nominated one K-pop group. Okay, cool. Obviously, there's still a bit of a stigmatism there. Okay, cool. We're just gonna move on from
and also
that.
like the fact that like they don't get a label when they have like when they're taking the nomination. And like the rest of the artists are like, well, like 2-time nominee, or but for BTS, who were nominated for a lot of things in the Grammys before, they don't get like a 2-time nominee at the bottom of their like their label. It's just BTS, nothing.
Yeah, it's like because they've been nominated twice before. One was for an album, for their album artwork, because I think it was for for Love Yourself Answer, the repackage, and then obviously for Dynamite last year. So, but because they also did have them announce, because they were hyping that they were announcing nominees for the Grammys too, but it was only for one category they got to announce for, and that was for best alternative, basically. So. Yeah, Grammys, I see you. You're using them for clout. I see you. I see what you're doing.
Also, like, Yeah, because I don't know, like anything can happen after the upset for this year's Grammys, or like months ago. So I was like,
Yeah.
I'm kind of like a bit cynical about how it's gonna turn out. Like either they're gonna give them the prize as condolence, like I know we pissed
Yeah.
off ARMY like months ago,
Mhm.
so let's just give them just to shut them up, or
Oh, yeah.
it's gonna hold,
I feel the exact same way. I was thinking either we're going to give it to him to be sympathetic and just shut up armies, or
condolence
they're not, and armies are going to be pissed off.
again.
Also, again, I'm just also sitting here on the Grammy train. I'm also just because Lil Nas X got a whole bunch of nominations, and I'm just sitting here. I'm just from Montero. I'm on that Montero train so hard right now. I'm like, yes,
Really?
oh yeah. Yeah. He got a lot of noms for Montero, so which I was actually pretty happy for. So actually, also Industry Baby got a nomination too. So in the rap category. So I was actually pretty excited for that. So that was pretty exciting. But yeah, also just happy because Silk Sonic got a lot of noms too. So also I'm just happy because
Silk Sonic is probably my the album of the year. I think.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and let's just leave the door
RBTF,
open, obviously, but because the album
Yeah.
came up after the nomination period. I mean, and the album is fantastic. Go listen to the new album by Silk Sonic. It's so good. Yeah, let's wrap up our news stories segment here, because I know we've actually been talking quite a bit in the news, but we had a couple COVID issues, because again, I know people are getting vaccinated and stuff, but we had a couple especially this last week in Korea, it's just been a lot of people testing positive or having some COVID scares. The biggest one being Lisa from Blackpink, who found out a couple days ago. She got tested. She tested positive for COVID. I believe it was on Thursday or Friday of this past week. I think the other members of Blackpink are negative, but she is.
I think they confirmed that they're negative.
But yeah, so she's currently in isolation. I think, did they say the members of Blackpink were vaccinated?
I don't know.
I don't know if that was ever confirmed or anything.
They never announced they got vaccinated or something. It's just kind of low key about it.
Because I know it was weird. I was because I know a lot of groups have kind of been announcing if members have been vaccinated or not. But because we also had two other members from two other groups, Kino from Pentagon, and then Hyo-chan from Viction also tested positive, and their respective groups also tested their members, and they all thankfully came back negative. And all the other members in those groups are apparently all vaccinated, so thankfully they're going to be okay. But it goes to show that unfortunately you can still get COVID while you're vaccinated. Hopefully it's just not as severe and they can get back quicker. And then I think this is I don't want to say favorite, because favorite's the wrong word, but interesting COVID story from the week. And regarding actually one of the groups we're talking about this week, SF9, and this came from it was a bit of a little mini scandal regarding Rowoon from SF9, and regarding COVID.
So we can consider it a scandal, because everything is just scandalous.
Everything's scandalous.
Yeah.
But basically, it came up during a fan call, because everyone does the fan calls for the fan signs right now because of COVID. It came up during a fan call, fan signing event. A fan asked him if he was vaccinated, and he said due to his schedule, because he's consistently acting right now, because he's currently starring in a very popular drama, as well as obviously promoting with SF9, that he hasn't been vaccinated, because he said, oh, I hear it knocks you out for a couple days, so that's why I haven't been vaccinated, but I have been testing. I've been doing the quick tests every couple days to make sure I'm okay, to be careful.
To make sure. Yeah.
However,
enough.
However, that definitely brought up some criticism within the fandom, because some fantasies were not happy about that, and so basically,
they're always taking the wrong way. They're always taking the word I haven't been vaccinated, been busy.
I know, but I understand him at least testing, at least in regularly testing. But I also understand, because again, he's going back and forth so much, because he's filming the drama The King's Affection, as well as promoting with SF9, as well as he's been very, very much in high in demand for a lot of dramas and stuff lately. So he's been very, very much a high demand idol actor. And so basically the FNC had to make a statement, and basically I love in the statement they kind of forced him to get vaccinated. Like they basically
I like how because I like how usually whenever like a member gets in trouble, they like the company always like makes them like say sorry or like makes them apologize in a letter. But with their response or how they deal with it, we just like we had him like get him like appointed for like for vaccinations now.
Yeah, basically they scheduled like because he's basically scheduled saying like, obviously due to his schedule, like he hasn't been vaxxed, but we managed to clear schedule a couple days so he could get vaxxed. So yeah, it was just like it was just kind of
right over there.
It was just kind of funny how like that whole situation played out. I thought that was actually kind of funny how that played out, honestly, in the whole long run. So
I really hope Ro was kind of having a laugh, and then like he wasn't like offended. I was like, oh my god, like that was like so reactionary, but like I really hope he's having a laugh because that was so funny. Like, okay, fine, whatever.
You kind of have to laugh about it now. Just the whole like absurdity of the situation, honestly. Like you just kind of have to. But and then the other weird thing too is regarding the members of aespa who were in the United States because they were performing the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, which, holy crap, SM has begun like a monopoly of all the like, K-pop groups performing in the Macy's Parade because they got NCT to perform in Macy's like 2019, I believe. Because I remember having they did. I remember NCT 127 being in Macy's 2019 because I had a coworker actually ask me who that K-pop group was at work the following week. Yeah, so superhuman. Yes. That's how
they keep labeling aespa as like the first K-pop group to perform in the Thanksgiving. It's like
first girl group, really? Yeah, the first girl group. So.
I guess for a first girl group, but first group, like okay,
yeah, but like Essence gained a monopoly on that right now. But no, they've flown back now to Korea to come back, obviously for promotions and obviously probably get ready for Mama and stuff. However, 3 of the 4 members are currently stuck at the airport because they came back with cold-like symptoms.
Shit.
The only person who was able to get back in the country was Giselle. So the other 3 are currently stuck at the airport. However, they did go on Bubble to at least assure the fans that they don't have COVID and they tested negative. So I'm hoping they get out of the airport soon or out of at least quarantine. So yeah. I mean, it's the world we live in right now with, COVID. So, but
I know
it's a mess, but I mean, what are we gonna do? Like I said, it's gonna be interesting with Mama when that happens in a couple weeks with how they're gonna do that, if we're gonna actually have a crowd or not, if it's gonna be like spaced out or what.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too. So whatever. We'll see more updates with Mnet and what like schemes they're gonna be doing.
Yeah, right. Also, like just
what schemes they're gonna be up to this time.
That too. I'm just we'll see what happens with Mama in a couple weeks. So should we just get right into these album reviews? Because I think we've talked about the news plenty enough because I feel like we've got an hour into like talking about the news.
Yeah, that's an hour of the news. So hopefully the music reviews won't be
hopefully it won't be an hour.
Hopefully.
I don't think we'll be, oh god, that would be a long show. Well, somebody who likes a long show though. I'm not calling on my boyfriend for a reason. No. Show. I love it. But let's get into these album reviews and let's just get started. Like I said, let's get started with our first one and let's get started with Twice. And like I said, and they're the third full album, Formula of Love, O+T = less than 3. And wow,
it looks like a heart. I think it was like a heart sign.
Yeah, it's the less than 3 was like, I remember that like from high school, like being the hot less than 3 was like the hot thing to do, like for hearts. So that's but I mean it fits, I mean, with the title track Scientist, honestly. Obviously Formula Love, Scientist feels very fitting. Overall with the concept of the with the theming of the album and the title of the album too. And I mean overall, like I don't know, like I mean, what are your thoughts on Scientist, I guess, first before I get into mine?
I think I fairly enjoyed the album. I don't think there's anything like that was like really significantly special about because I know that Twice has been going on a roll with their like retro sounding types, which is the new thing now with K-pop, especially from BTS.
Yes.
But this one, I think to to me. I think it was like a a really fun album for me to listen to, especially with the first couple of tracks, which was Scientist, which is the title track, and Moonlight. Because a friend of mine, like even my sister was like hyping that song up to me. He's like, oh yeah, you don't like are you into Moonlight? You're not into Moonlight? I was like, I mean, it grew on me, like because at first I was like kind of like okay, but I wasn't like really head over heels about it. But I was slowly like getting into it. It's like, yeah, it's a fun like retro bop, but yeah, I enjoy that. Yeah, I'm just like I think it's kind of like a follow up to like with what was their last album?
Oh, the one they released over the summer.
Yeah,
the one they no, and now I'm blanking because I can't remember their last album from over the
I know
summer.
Alcohol free, yeah, was the title track. But no, what's the alcohol free album?
That's
Taste of Love.
Yeah, Taste of Love.
Taste of Love. Yeah, like they kind of were kind of following up with like that sort of like type of sound or the music production that they're going for from Taste of Love into here. I can kind of hear some familiar beats into it, or it's like similar style of like music production. Other than that, there's nothing much I can like say. Is just felt like okay, like it's twice doing another retro concept again, which I think when I know like they're trying to mature from like their really cutesy style, and I think that the retro route would be like a wise choice for them.
Yeah. Like, I feel like that's been like their kind of jam as of late, like kind of going this retro sound. And I feel like JYP's been doing that too, because I mean, I don't know if he's kind of had that a little bit too on their last album. So,
but it's more like a 90s, like type of like, hip hop or like the 90s, like or like early 2000s pop.
Right, exactly. So it was more along those kinds of lines when we're talking like retro, not like 70s, 80s, like disco-ish, like we've seen with like a lot of groups.
Yeah, the neo disco, especially from Moonlight, and they have like the guitar riff is like that.
Yeah, but I sense a lot of like 90s, some like early aughts throughout the album too, in terms of some of the sounds. I think because with some of the sounds, but like going back to Scientist, like I mean, for me, it's not my favorite title track of theirs. I think it grew on me a little bit. I mean, it's along the lines of like they're like still similar, like they're like more bubblegummy type of song. I think it has a bit of a more mature sound, I think, to it. I mean, as they're getting older.
I think for me, I think like when I first heard the song, it feels really different. It kind of surprised me to how the music side of it feels very pulled back. Like there's no booming effects, and during the chorus, it feels like just like they're driving through it through with like the bass sister riff, but it didn't really like add that much oomph into the thing.
Yeah, it's very. I won't say monotone. Monotone's very incorrect on that, but it just it has this very it kind of more smoother sound throughout. It's very smooth, like very polished.
Yeah, there's no crescendo or like there's like a part where it starts to well up.
Yeah, it's just.
And I also noticed too. It kind of feels like a companion piece to it, another group from Red Velvet, because when I heard the bridge, it sounds very close to like the bridge from Red Velvet's Oompa Oompa, because it has like the na 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 na. So something like that. I was like, okay, that's it feels very similar to each other. But I still like the songs on their own.
Like I said, I think it grew on me. Like I said, it's not my favorite title track of theirs, but it grew on me. Like it didn't catch me like I Can't Stop Me from last year. Cry for me. Like I really like those title tracks, but this one is growing on me, and I'm quite enjoying this one in terms of their title tracks. But yeah, I mean, and I've also, like I said, there's a lot of just like the smooth, sensual feel to a lot of the earlier sounds. Again, kind of feeling again that harkening that retro sound. There's also a lot of English tracks on this album too.
Yeah, which I'm kind of like thinking. So are they going for like a more Western appeal, or like are they like really trying to promote themselves for like the Western audience? Because we know we got when they did like the feels, like that's one of their first things when they're trying to promote in English, and with songs like Moonlight, it's like wow, like we're getting more English from them too.
Yeah. I mean, and like, I'm not going to say like the English songs are bad. Like they're not bad songs at all, but it's just, it was surprised also by the number of English songs, because I feel like there's like 4 or 5 of them on the album.
Yeah, and Moonlight, Candy, and the Feels is also
the Feels, and I think Icon
album
was in English too.
Okay.
So like, there's quite a few of them on there outside of the title track, and outside the unit tracks too. And it's like it's very surprising like how JYP is really trying to push. I mean, and I wonder if it's just because they see the international success maybe with Stray Kids and with ITZY, with those groups having such big international fan bases, that they're trying to push that for Twice, even though Twice has a huge Korean fan base already as it is. So I don't know how much that's going to decisively divide the fandom a little bit, but since they have quite a bit devoted obviously onces that are Korean, but I guess we'll have to wait and see with that. I mean, we'll see if they try to even start promoting more in the States, like touring and stuff. I think they've tried tour. I think they've done a tour in the States previously. So, but yeah, I mean, overall, like it's a pretty like the sound's pretty consistent throughout the album, which is pretty nice that they at least have that consistent sound.
I actually like I like the songs from Scientist, Moonlight, Fila, which is the acronym for Fall in Love Again. I like Fila because it has like the very like I think a more distinct sound to themselves with like the disco violin strings. Kind of reminds me of like other like disco classics like Chic's Good Times, because it has like that violin riff, which I really like.
I liked Fila too, because I liked it. It was kind of like this dancey yet romantic kind of song that you could get down to.
You can like roller skate it.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think because I think they're trying to have like a in the retro concept. So I was kind of interested to when they went to like the certain divide themselves into like their certain groups. One group in particular with with Nayeon, Momo, and Chaeyoung with their song Hello feels more like a trap hip hop type of sound. It's like, oh whoa.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna lie, like the unit tracks were very like all kind of more on like the hip hop, like they felt a little more aggressive, like something different completely than we've seen from other Twice songs. Sound. Like all 3 of them, even too, from the other two groups, the other 2 units felt had this more of like hip hop like swagger to them, which is different than other stuff we've seen from Twice overall, I think. So like it was just kind of interesting that they were playing with that on the unit tracks.
Yeah, what kind of reminds me, because there's like an infamous video with Momo like rapping. So it kind of reminds me of like the Pink Lamborghini video. So like when she was part of that Hello track, that kind of reminds me of that.
Oh God, I remember that. Yeah, no, it's
Pink Lamborghini.
No, she was very cute during that Pink Lamborghini. I don't know. I thought it was adorable. I did personally. It was me.
I'm gonna watch it again. Okay.
Maybe later. But yeah, no, I like the unit tracks. Like I said, there's something a little different, kind of fun.
My favorite was Hello. Yeah, Hello, Push and Pull.
I really liked Hello and Push and Pull. Yeah. And then I really liked also like the track Cactus too. There's just something that felt like early aughts power ballady to it. That's kind of like again more my vein of stuff. So like I just really like that song. But yeah, overall I thought it was actually a pretty solid album for them. It's a pretty long album too, because it's almost an hour long. There's a lot.
I was kind of surprised there's like more than 10 tracks. I was like, wow, that's
Yeah, like they put a lot on this album. So there's a lot of music on here. So they gave you quite a bit for this comeback. And from what I know, and Scientist has been pretty successful. I think it's got a couple wins on show. I mean, it's been up with a lot of competition.
It just won its Inkigayo last Sunday.
Yeah, so I think it's
well, last Saturday, early Sunday.
Yeah, so like it's like third or fourth award, I think. So it's been
it's the second.
A second award. Yeah, it's been very tight competition currently with a lot of comebacks, and we'll get to some of these comebacks as we're talking here in the show, because a couple of these have also had awards too, because they think Monsta X has got a couple wins as well, and we'll talk about them here in a minute. But yeah, it's just, I mean, I'm happy to see them still continuing on. I mean, there's still like honestly one of the top girl groups, the third generation outside of Blackpink. So, and Blackpink really hasn't put out much. These Twice is still putting out music. So,
yeah.
But, should we get...
Okay, turn it like this.
Should we get right into our next album and get into Monsta X?
Let's rush into it.
Yeah, ooh, I like that. With their...
that was late. Sorry.
I like lame transitions. You know me. But yeah, as Ginny's alluding to, Monsta X is back with their 10th mini album, No Limit, and their title track, Rush Hour.
No relations to Jackie Chan or Chris Tucker. Just letting you know.
Yeah, no relation to the movie. Also to note, this is the first comeback without Shonu. Shonu's obviously in the military currently.
So they're like a 5-member group right now.
So promoting as 5 members, which is going to be interesting as they start their tour here in in a month or so, because they're like one of the first groups to come to the States to tour. Well, they're actually going to be here in a couple weeks because they're doing a bunch of Jingle Balls. So like they're going to be here very soon in the States. So get ready, America. I'm just waiting for some Monsta X American shenanigans. Anyway,
oh no.
It's coming.
I remember that the reporter kept on messing up with some of the members from Monsta X. Like he's been doing that with a lot of groups like NCT. So, oh my god, I don't want
to just get him off the reporting period. Anyway, don't have him touch any K-pop groups, because him messing with NCT groups just like ugh. Anyway, but overall, the title track Rush Hour, you smack me in the face, why don't you, with this title track?
How I was like so hyped with that, the Boys Maverick. I'm sorry, Maverick, move aside. I got myself a new hype theme.
New hype track. Yeah, like, oh my god, like
I thought, because when I first listened to it, I thought they're gonna be doing some Western thing, because I was in my, because I was watching that movie The Harder They Fall, which is one of my favorite movies this year, and it was so the Western feel. So when they with I.M wearing that cowboy hat and then having that whistle in the beginning, I thought they're gonna be doing some kind of country type of a Western type of thing. But when they hit your heart with yeah, I thought I was expecting.
So something like Sticker was attempting to do, but obviously with Monsta X's style, because Sticker had kind of was kind of doing something.
I wasn't thinking about Sticker, but is it some kind of Western kind of spaghetti Western kind of music? But then they hit you with that hip hop boo rush hour. Oh my god! I was like, oh my.
Yeah, it starts off immediately in your face. It's immediately in your face, always in your face. And I mean, this is the aggressive.
That's the signature Monsta X.
This is signature Monsta X, hands down. And I love it. I love it so much because it is signature Monsta X. I feel like we haven't seen it in a while.
Yeah.
In the last 2 comebacks, I feel like we hadn't seen something like this signature Monsta X since 2019. Honestly, since maybe before Wonho left, honestly.
Yeah.
There's
just felt more poppy, or at least a bit like R&B. Because even their tracks, even though it has that really heavy EDM with Gambler and Love Killa, it's still a bit slow. And it's kind of a bit pulled back with their aggressive EDM style. Because Monsta X, if you guys aren't listening to Monsta X, they're really known for their loud, aggressive EDM hip hop style. They're one of the main groups that really harness the noise music in K-pop really well.
Yeah, before Stray Kids I think came out, perfected it for the 4th generation, Monsta X is pioneering it. Yeah. Honestly, even before NCT, Monsta X was one of the pioneers of that noise genre.
And it's almost intimidating too, because not because of like the sound, but it also helps with like their personas as well. Because I think they're one of like the main, like the rare K-pop, but they're not the skinny type of like K-pop group.
No.
Yeah, they really like pride in their like muscular features.
Yeah,
I don't mean to thirst, but it's kind of like kind of helping with like their image though. It's like they're aggressive and that they're all muscular too, except for Hyungwon, the Starbucks kid. Except for that guy.
I love Hyungwon. I love Hyungwon though. Like he's got a very unique
attitude.
Charm.
He has an attitude.
His attitude and sass like makes up for it though, hands down, because he's just got an amazing like sass to him. But I felt like Rush Hour, like this is like Juhan. This is like Juhan IM's track. Like
Juhan, it's
so much their track. Like it is so much Rap Line's track, and it's because like they are so aggressive on it, and like even with the other three, with like Hyungwon and Kihyun and Minhook are still like slaying it with like their aggressive vocals.
Their vocals, their power vocals. But I think Juhan really did well in holding it down while shown us up in the military. Is he the one leading right now for like the group?
I don't know if they've ever really established like a new leader, considering because I know Shonu is technically the leader. I don't think really established a new
Juhan,
leader.
but Juhan really helped in like writing a lot of the songs.
So I think because like I feel like this is kind of like Juhan kind of taking charge a little bit, and I mean overall the whole album too is just like is very signature Monsta X, because it's very much got like in that driving force behind it. It is still feels Monsta X like the second track Audubon. There's something like there's something like that nice smooth beat. There's something undeniably sexy about it.
A lot of the lyrics. Okay, I didn't read the lyrics, but I'm kind of getting like a sense. A lot of the lyrics are kind of very, very suggestive. I mean, they've been doing that with Love Killa and Gambler, or with like the last two albums.
I did pick up on the line.
I did research.
No, but I managed to somehow pick up on the line, ride me like a horse, and I'm like, sir, what?
Yeah. See,
I was like, sir, excuse me. God, between this and SF9 this week, I'm like, I just horny bonk.
SF9 is like in a whole other spectrum with their music, but still the same,
two different spectrums of horny bonks. Anyway, but yeah, it's just I really dig this album. Like this is like Monsta X, like old school Monsta X that I've missed.
I think this is my favorite Monsta X album so far. What we reviewed.
Like I said, I think this is I put it on my notes too. Like this is my favorite one in a while. Like no lie, this is my favorite one in a long time, because this is just so distinctly like old school Monsta X from like 2017, 2018. Like kind of like the Clan era Monsta X. Like it's so aggressive and in your face, and I love it. I freaking love it. So if you're like kind of like that kind of stuff, like I said, if you're really into the noise genre and you kind of want to like know like in K-pop like the pioneers of it, like you really need to look into Monsta X, especially as they're, like I said, they're gearing up to come to the States to do their tour here in early January, as well as they're going to be a bunch of Jingle Balls, like I said, coming up here in a few different cities around the United States, so which they've been doing the last couple of years. They've done Jingle Ball
before BTS. They really promote like a lot of like English tracks too. Right? Like they really did like try to appeal with like the Western audience before BTS did.
They really did, because I mean they had a whole full English album back in 2019. Yeah, 2019. They had a full English album.
I love that song with when they did with French Montana. It was like "Who Do You Love?" I love that
Who Do You Love is a great song. Yeah, because they were in 2018. They were the first Korean group to perform at the Jingle Ball tour. So, and that was back in 2018. So again, before BTS, Monsta X was definitely making the push to try to lay cement in America, and they've really definitely have a lot of American fans, a lot of Western fans too. And like I said, it's gonna be fun, especially because they're gonna be. I think they have quite a few locations. They're gonna be in Philly, DC, Atlanta, and Miami. So they're going to be on the East Coast for that. And like I said, then they're going to be back for like a bit of their tour coming in 2022 to kind of make up for obviously COVID and stuff. So, and then plus they have another English album coming out in a couple weeks.
Right.
So, as well as they have a movie coming out that's coming out in Korea and a bunch of other countries, I believe in the States, I think in Canada too, called Monsta X, The Dreaming as a Doc. It's like one of those concert documentary
It's like
films.
a documentary. Because even Mamamoo like announced they're going to have like a feature film, but like it's going to be a documentary or something.
Docs. Yeah, like because BTS has had a few obviously released in theaters. Yeah, Monsta X is having one that's going to be and now Monsta X is going to have one released in theaters just in time for their English album coming out here in a couple weeks. So go check out Monsta X, you guys. Any other tracks you like?
So other than like the first like tracks that are like really hard hitting and more like fast in the tempo, I actually like dig the slower tracks too, because it doesn't really go in like the emotional ballad style. It feels more like it feels like more like powerful, like with like power sensual type of vibe. I think it was Got Me in Chains or Mercy, like one of those like
Mercy. I think you're talking about Mercy because I like Mercy too, because there's something sinister.
Mercy.
There's something sinister, kind of puts you on edge. It had like this darker, dangerous love kind of feel to it.
It gives me like the Weekend Worth It type of thing. It's like slow, but it's sensual and it doesn't put you much in like in an emotional like sappy kind of route, but it's like more like it really helps too with like the vocals too in the vocal line as well.
That was definitely, I feel like like I said, if Rush Hour is like showcase of like the rap line, Mercy's I think they'll showcase the vocal line. Like
I think Rush Hour had a great balance with like the vocal and and the rap line though, because like the rap like took over the verse and then the vocal did like the bridge and the chorus. So,
I agree with that. So but I mean, it Got Me in Chains. I really like Got Me in Chains too.
I Got Me in Chains. Yeah,
that's another like really good song. It's not as slow as Mercy, but it is a bit of a slower-ish song than like compared to like Rush Hour and Audubon, but it's still like, again, and they're slower, but they're not like ballady slow. Like there's just something that like it still like has an edge to it that just makes it like it just it puts you on that edge. And it's overall, like I said, this is a great album. I really, really like this album. This is probably my pick album of the week, honestly.
I'll see if I can include it. It's probably gonna be in my honorable mentions, but I'll just try to list it down my top favorite album for this year.
Yeah, it's a really good album. It's super solid. So, I might have to be putting this one on repeat for the next like few days. I kind of now want to like double feature Rush Hour and Maverick back to back. That would just be like overload like to the brain senses. Like super, super hype. May need that for a Monday morning.
Put you into like a mood or get put you more like if you want to work out. Those two songs, would be such a fitting tracks. Hands
down. So, just a great album from Monsta X. Like they've nailed it, and like I said, they've been winning with Rush Hour. I think they've had a handful of wins too with it. So.
They're kind of getting in tight competition with IU though. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, which I'm surprised. Like all of a sudden, IU's coming through with Strawberry Moon, picking up wins all of a sudden. So, which is kind of strange. But I'm happy to see Rush Hour picking up a couple of W's with this one. So makes me really, really excited. So very well deserved. So, let's move on to our next album. Again, this is another mini album. And this is from the group SF9. This is also like their 10th mini album, their 10th EP. Yeah, I swear to God, FNC puts out like a ton of stuff for them. And this is
good though. It's good though.
It's good. Like they put out a lot of stuff, I feel like, and this is like their third. This is the third album this year, I feel like.
Is it the third album? Because I know Teardrop or
Yeah, because they dropped their last one right after Kingdom. So I mean, this is their second one, obviously post Kingdom, but the album's called Rumination, and title track from this one is called Trauma. And this, which this, I feel like this kind of was going back, especially with the music video, was kind of going back to more like, this felt more like almost like more classic, like SF9 a little bit.
Yeah.
Like what we've seen versus like some of their other stuff. Like this felt like a lot like in the vein of Now or Never to me.
I think so. Whenever I think of SF9, I think of like their music is more like it's like some of the songs that would fit well in like a model or like, you know, like model runway track or like, you know, voguing type of environment. Like I think they were like really known because of like their model looks at SF9 because they really have like that strong visual sense, and they you know, like even their dance too like feels very, I don't consider it vogue, but they like really exude well with like their, you know, gracefulness and their bodies, like they really like show it off, right?
I feel like
one of the members,
there's a sense of like posing almost with their choreography. Like it doesn't feel like it, but there is a sense of it. I noticed a little bit of that in Kingdom, but I've noticed that now, especially with Teardrop and now with Trauma, kind of looking at it like, yeah, there is a sense of like that. And obviously again, they're known as like one of the visual groups. I mean, all of them are tall. They're like also one of the tallest groups out there. So they are definitely known as a visual group, and they play to those strengths. And I mean, this song definitely plays to that strength, and I think it plays to it better than Teardrop did.
Oh yeah, honestly. I was wondering if you're gonna prefer Teardrop more or this song.
I mean, I like Teardrop. I really did like Teardrop. I kind of liked like how kind of like more mellow, like kind of vibey it was.
It feels it feels very like almost cold hearted, like the way how they're singing about toxic love, like you're gonna give me trauma. It feels like a cold hearted, like even like the key signature keys that they're like putting with the music. It has like a thing around the sharp range of you know, the key signature. But even like the driving elements from like the music with like the basic dun 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 dun, and then even like the instrument, and I think it's like the synth. You can hear it during like the bridge, like dun, 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 dun.
There's something very tropical in the chorus breakdown, like before, like that in bridge.
Yeah, it's a callback from Teardrop because they use a lot of the xylophones there. So I love how they're kind of bringing it back for here, but it feels a bit more minimal.
Yeah, it's a nice kind of tie in to kind of flow of like their title tracks kind of continuously on. Like I feel like they're kind of like trying to tie things together, because like I was looking into the music video, and I feel like the music video itself was also kind of tying and stuff and bringing like elements back from like previous music videos, because if they have a universe, there's a lot of like imagery and stuff I've seen like previous music videos and stuff, so it was kind of interesting to see that, especially having, you know, done all the research from our Wikipedia episode and having watched a bunch of the music videos and stuff. So but yeah, I really liked a lot of it. I will say my one weakness of the song is kind of the second chorus.
Okay. I think we're thinking that we're having the same mindset.
Thing? Yeah,
same thing. I think. Or if you're reading my notes, I already put it there.
No, because I was kind of going along, and then all of a sudden like Zuho comes in and like the weird ass like
trauma, the fist of a
and then all of a sudden the male version Venus, and it just kind of rambles, like kind of fades off.
Yeah, I mean, okay. Well, first off, nice job of bringing back the male version of Venus from like your move rendition in Kingdom.
Thank you.
That, but but also like I you know, we get, you know, having like some kind of unconventional rap flows, right? Like it's you know, it's possible you can fit that in, but you know, with Zuho, the way he did it, feels like he's going off the rails. It's not fitting with like the beat anymore. Like, okay, well, you're going out sideways there, buddy.
Yeah, because it didn't quite flow into the whoever kind of picked up into the next line, because like it's okay if it kind of overlapped a little bit, but this overlap didn't quite overlap well. I can't think of who overlapped next. I don't think it was Chani. It was somebody else.
But Chani was in the last verse, right? Which I think they redeemed the rap version.
They did. So, also, Chani's visuals in the music video. Oh my god! Hi. Hello. I don't know if it's just because Chani because I saw him in Imitation, and I don't know why, but hi. Also Hui Yang. Hi.
and Taeyang, which he's sounding really dangerously close to Kai and Taemin vocal wise, and even the his choreography too.
Yeah. So like, I mean, it's those, like the music video like has some like visuals in it. Like, my God.
Nice work with the chair too. The chair choreography too.
Oh yeah, that chair choreography. Hello, wow. That's something.
That Zuho part was like one completely off. Was like
1 week.
This is about to tell me the 10. And the male version of Venus, and it kind of felt like he's about to say something else. Like when he's like, "Told you on the male version of Venus." Said, yeah. And they went to the bridge. And like, well, okay, that's like that sounds so weird. I thought he's about to say something else, and then like they just like went out to the bridge. Like, oh,
they just cut him off. Yeah, just cut him off now. Just before he starts rambling. I
still love Zuo.
I know.
I like, but that's like the weak spot of like
because
like
I thought like Hwang, because Hwang does the first verse and like his rap is really strong, so like to see Zuho's kind of go off the rails, just like ugh, like it was just weird. It was just very weird. So I don't know, but I mean other tracks.
We thought the same though.
Just it was just a very weird, like it just kind of caught me off guard. It was just like okay, hi. It was just weird. But I mean over like the other songs too on the album, like I really enjoyed like I really liked the second track Dreams. There's this like energetic feeling to it. There's something that made me feel kind of ambitious when listening to it. Like it's not an ambitious song, but there's just something to it. Like I don't know if it's just the lyrics or something that makes me want to be ambitious when I listen to it. I don't know, that's just the feeling I got when I listened to it.
I think I think I'm more of like the more pulled back down type of song, because I think with the one with Dream, this feels like almost close to like the typical fourth gen sound. It is a little bit, but it's not like a ton into that. But but in terms of like my like favorite tracks, I think I really appreciated like Gentleman and On and On. Like I really like those songs from B-sides. Like there's just something undoubtedly sexy about Gentleman. Most probably
about that one. And then something about On and On has this like kind of cool balladness to it from SF9. And occasionally they do delve into ballads. I've seen them, we've seen them delve into ballads. Actually, one of my favorite songs of theirs is a ballad, which is a B-side from one of their earlier albums. And it's, I think, why I liked On and On, and just something about that, like guitar with it and just their vocals on it. It's super nice.
On and On feels like there has like that much of like an old sound to it almost, because it kind of reminds me of like some of like soft rock R&B ballad that I would like listen to. Even like the guitar work too and the instrumental. I think it really like has like a distinct sound to them with a part of like from the rest of the album. I think I enjoyed that.
Yeah, I mean, and then it kind of comes back again, going to that sexy thing again, and kind of going to the fast pace and like this retro sound again with Scenario,
which again, I think same thing with with Phila from Twice, like the disco string, man, the disco string, something like that.
Yes, but it worked really well with them again, they kind of with that like kind of voguey sound that they have. Because it still kind of felt like it tied in that voguey sound with the disco, and just it really tied it in together really well. So, I just this actually was a pretty solid album from them. It was like I know Fantasies are trying to like really push hard for them to get a win.
I'm helping trying to like get like some more viewership in for Trauma. On YouTube, I've been like really helping. I'm trying to help them, man.
Are you streaming Trauma? Which I understand why. Which I know I've been trying to stream it too a little bit, because like it definitely deserves a couple wins. I don't know if it's been up for wins yet, because the album just came out. I think it's going to start coming up for wins this next week, so it might be up.
Hopefully, and like who else are they competing with too? Like I don't think I can.
Probably Monsta X yet.
Monsta X still up in there, but
still up there for votes and stuff, and maybe Twice, and I'm not sure what else is going up there
currently. IU, she's still going strong with Strawberry.
I mean, because, well, they don't have to worry about Stray Kids until probably a week. Yeah, because, I mean, Stray Kids, I don't know if they're going to try to see
and Kai too, Kai and Everglow, too.
Kai and Everglow, yeah. Because I don't know if Christmas Evil is going to be able to go up for both. That'll be interesting if Stray Kids gets
I don't know, because it's like Christmas, yeah.
We'll find out when that happens. But yeah, I mean, I really like Trauma, and I really think Trauma deserves a win, at least a win, because I think it's a great song of theirs. And I mean, I was kind of sad Teardrop didn't get a win, but Trauma definitely does deserve a win. I think at least one.
Really hope.
Yeah, I hope they can pull off one. So I'm definitely gonna try to do my part and try to help them out with a little bit of streaming to see if we can get at least a W on that. So
let's do it.
But let's
do it.
Just go watch Trauma. Go watch the music video. You'll appreciate it. But let's get to our last little release of the week here. And this actually just came out a couple days ago. And this is again, this is a Hwasa from Mamamoo. And this is her single album release, Guilty Pleasure, which had a total of 3 tracks on it. The title track, I'm a Bee, as well as 2 other tracks, FOMO and Bless You. And let's start with I'm a Bee first, because the title track, I'm a Bee.
Which it's a play on word, because she put the title track as with a hangul, which in Romanized it means it sounds like bitch.
Yes.
So it's it's a nice play on word, because it sounds like like the term bitch, right? I'm a bitch, and also but we'll probably delve into more of that. But I think she that wasn't, the title was intentional.
Yeah, it was definitely intended to be that, but I love the play on words, especially as in the song itself. But like the song in itself, like I love her vocals, hands down. I love Hwasa's vocals.
It's so distinct. If you're trying to distinguish the different voices of Mamamoo, like Solar, and at the second place would be Wee, and they have really powerful vocals. But the Solar, most especially, Wee is more pulled back, where she doesn't really go into crescendoing type of vocal range. But with Moonbill's rap, it's a really low pitch rap, it's almost very tomboyish and masculine.
Yeah, and then she's kind of got a bit of gravel to it too.
Yeah, and with Hwasa, who's also a rapper and a vocal, she has a really nasally type of voice too. So that a lot of their different vocals, that they always mesh well together.
Oh yes, and I mean, it still kind of plays into that too. And I mean, I really like, because I mean, this gave me vibes of Twit, which was one of her early
it feels very
solos.
Twit.
Yeah, one of her early solo tracks that she had released. But it has almost this mature-ish, it's almost matured up a level.
It's almost, it feels like a very reflective, type of lyricism, reflect also looking into her, her past life, and channeling all of their experience and emotion into the song, which they really do well in. A lot of the members in Mamamoo, they're always great at expressing their true selves into the music. And
even in her solo stuff too, because we saw that with Maria, one of her big solo track from last year, and now with I'm a Bee, how just expressive and how almost raw she is with her vocals, and how personal she is with her vocals. Because I felt this is very, very personal, especially with the music video too. A lot of the imagery and stuff that she plays with, she has a lot of imagery that she kind of ties in, because of the just the image she puts out there, and how much scorn she's had because of her looks and her talents and stuff.
Yeah, or how she expresses more a liberal type of viewpoint. So especially with her appearance and how she dances. Yeah, as well as
in a very conservative country too. So
and almost it almost works well, because of her voice makes it feel very vulnerable, because it feels very, very faint. And even because I was kind of reading upon what was the song about, why did she write this song as, and she said that it was some kind of an apology letter to her friends and family, the way she probably might have mistreated them, or probably not have made the time, to spend with them. So it was like an apology letter, but it kind of made us like, make it with a bit of like some kind of a sass to it or some kind of wit to it. It's like, yeah, I'm a bitch. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm a bitch. Yeah.
I mean, and that definitely kind of feels definitely up her vein, just kind of how her personality is from what we've seen, at least, through entertainment and stuff, because she definitely kind of has that. And again, like you said, the play on words, because I mean, yeah, because in the Hangul, I'm a bitch, and if we romanized it out, it's BICH. Instead of BITCH, bitch, but
it sounds close,
very close to bitch, and it's the way it comes off in the song. It definitely sounds like I'm a bitch, but
that's not a bitch, yeah.
But I think translated, doesn't it? It's very similar to her stage name. Her name,
because bitch or the Hangul of like that name means light, and if you look into Hwasa's her stage name, Hwasa means shining brightly. So those words really connect well with like her name and what she like stands for, right? Because she always like portrays herself as like the shining light, right? Yeah, so
she tries to be she tries to be a very good image or a good role model, I should say, for at least like for her fans. So and I think she does that really, really well. So to see this with the song and just kind of again to play with the words and to kind of play with the lyrics on that, it's really cool to see that like level of like detail in the song. Right. It's a very cool thing. I love it when they play with words like that, especially the crossover between Hangul and English.
Yeah, with Lei too, with his album Lit, because it has like a lot of meanings to it, and like he puts his song like it sounds simple, but like if you see like the Chinese like significance to it, it's like it means like this, and it has like a higher representations. Like wow, it's very very smart. Like
and I've seen Stray Kids do it a couple times. We've seen Bang Chan do it a couple times with some of his lyrics. In both Three Racha songs as well as in some of his Stray Kids writing credits as well. He's played on words between English and Korean, the Hangul of it. So it's like I love seeing that. It's just fun, as well as BTS. BTS has done this as well too. Words. So it's super fascinating to me. Also, like I just have to talk about FOMO because that caught me off guard. Yeah. FOMO caught me off guard with
that FOMO scared me. Okay. Well, before the first portion of FOMO, because again, like showing like Hwasa's, Hwasa shows like a lot of power by expressing or exposing her vulnerability, and it's like a very more like personal like than like the poppy I'm a B. I really love like the R&B like sound of like the first portion. So it's it feels very like close and very like relatable to how people would be feeling. So I love that until like the vocals starts like drop like it's like that like that's like the music stopper like that like distortion. Kind of like caught us off guard, like holy shit, what's happening? And then
like I equated it because like that first part sounded very almost like Anderson Paak-esque, like Silk Sonic-esque, like R&B. Like I got that kind of vibe, and then when that distortion happened and it changed, it got very Billie Eilish.
In
my mind, it's very it's a very weird change, but it works.
It's already haunting with like the very like slow bell, the slow,
slow
tempo, like and that that made it more like really eerie to me. It's like oh shit.
Yeah, it's got this weird like eeriness too after that, like kind of like almost like a record scratch, like kind of change.
Yeah, like the distortion.
And then and it's like I said, it changes into something kind of sinister, dark, like puts you on edge. Like I said, it felt very Billie Eilish, especially with the way like she was doing the vocals with her voice, the timbre of her voice, and it just was it really put me off. Like it caught me off guard and put me on edge. And I was just like, okay, I was not expecting this before I went into I'm a B. So it's just. That was really kind of cool to play with that. to see that like change. And then Bless You, I think, is just a beautiful like kind of finale on this, because again, it's just the 3 tracks. It's just a single release. Again, it's just her vocal. I cannot praise her vocals enough. She just says this really, great set of vocals, and she's just very expressive, and I cannot say that enough. And it's really, really shown in Bless You. So I think it's just more of a thank you to everybody for all the stuff she's had to deal with and stuff, because I know she's had some tumultuous things happen as of late, especially with her injury and stuff last year. Right. As well as some other like minor mini hiccups this year in 2021. So I think it was just kind of a really nice track to finish up the single. Right. So it's just she just continues to blow me away with her solo stuff. Like, I mean, all the members of Mamamoo too. Like, they just put on some amazing work. The 4 of them do. And
like again, I couldn't like praise them enough of like how different they are in terms of like their sound and concepts. Apart from girl groups. So this is like they're something that we should totally recommend, or guys, you have to like listen to like Mamamoo.
Yeah, both as a group themselves and their individual solo works too. All of them, all 4 of them. You need to go listen to those solo works. They're all distinctly different, but just them, and it's they're all like very personal. It feels like, I mean, all of the solo works personal, but for all of them, it feels really distinctly personal. Like, they're very vulnerable in all their solo works. So. Yeah. But I mean, that's it for this week's reviews. Through it all. What's like as much as long as our news, which I promised that was not going to happen. But I mean, and we got more music coming on the way. I mean, there's not much happening in December as we're getting towards the end of the year here, which is good because we still have to make our end of the year lists as they're coming up. But like I said, I think next week we're going to have to talk about, I'm going to have to talk about Christmas Evil and Winter Falls, because it's a double title track with Stray Kids with their Christmas.
I'm coming in with, coming in cold because I haven't seen the trailers. So I'm not expecting like the how it's sounding like. So
I'm waiting. I cannot wait for your reaction when it drops. We're recording this the day before it comes out. So
my style.
I know your style. I'm looking forward to her reaction to this when this drops. So we also have, I think, Kai is also coming back with his solo album. It has a solo comeback happening as well as with Peaches, which now I'm having flashbacks to Justin Bieber. God damn it.
If I flashbacks with Call Me By Your Name.
Oh God. Not that.
Oh, good.
Oh, no. Stop. We also got music coming from Everglow this week, which I remember you sending me the trailer for Everglow for Pirate, and you're like,
Pirate, not just the title, but even the set too, or like one of the sets where they're in the desert.
Definitely was giving me Pirate King vibes.
Yeah. Okay, but I listened. They put up like a bit of like a teaser of like how the chords are gonna sound. Yeah, it's not gonna be like 80s, but
okay. I figured it wasn't going to be, but I was getting. Well, I mean, I'm just okay because I'm like 80s Everglow collab. I'm okay with this though. That would be awesome. And maybe we'll have to talk about the debut of IVE, which is the new girl group coming from Starship.
Is that their debut?
That they're debuting.
Because I thought like I was recommended IVE like before. It's like, oh wait,
no, they're officially debuting finally on the 1st. So we are officially gonna have IVE debut.
No, I keep saying their name because like keep on teasing each member. Like, okay, IVE,
which I watched. Starship, which the same company as Monsta
X and Gravity.
So this is their. I don't think they have any. I don't know if they have any girl groups currently. So I think that's the main girl group right now.
Yeah, they had a girl group, but I forgot their name. I forgot.
So,
but
and then depending on when we record, I don't know if On and Off will have their comeback before then, but we'll see what happens. When we record, but On and Off has their last comeback before they enlist happening soon too, which I'm not gonna lie, looking forward to that. So yeah, I mean, we had a couple like nice big releases coming up, and then there's a couple bigger releases happening towards middle of December. Like I said, I was talking about earlier, ATEEZ all of a sudden announced, surprisingly, caught me off guard that they're having a comeback on the 10th, as well as obviously NCT having their
2021 universe.
Massive comeback on the 14th. So
well,
that's
not exactly massive because there were no new members, and some couple of members are sitting out. So
yeah, which that we've been discussing about all that stuff off mic. But
yeah, I was like hyped, like, oh wait, are they gonna put some memory? Like no, it's just gonna be in this.
They won't same old. No. I mean, us also still waiting for Shotaro and Sungtan to actually get into a unit here.
Yeah, I really hope they announce me too. And I want them to stick together, because I know with Lucas and Jungwoo, I think they were close when they were debuting, and then they split them up. I
know. I really want those two together because they're such good friends.
They're so sweet. You see their lives and all of that. Oh my God.
Their lives are so cute. I love their lives. Yeah. They're so much fun.
They're already so comfortable with each other though.
I don't want to see that broken up. So
yeah,
but yeah, no, we got I said a bunch of stuff coming up. Mamas are coming up, obviously. Melon's coming up in terms of the music awards. For the big ones, and then end of the year.
What's gonna be?
Yeah,
I think they did announce nominees to for Gaon.
I don't think they announced nominees to Gaon, and sometimes that comes after the new year. So we'll see if that when that happens. Yeah, so we'll see when that happens. But I mean, we got a lot of stuff coming and happening, and we're going to be here for it. So as well as for our end of the year fantastic wrap up of the figuring out our top 10 albums of the year, which God, I have
keeping notes. We're always keeping notes. I'm just this album.
I know, it's do I like this album? Do I not like this album? Oh my God, I have so many things to look at, and I have a lot of notes to look through before the end of the year here. So I guess with that, Ginny, do you have anything you want to plug before we head on out?
Well, you can find me on Facebook at Ginny Leano, so that's GINNYLEANO, or you can check out my design pages on Facebook at Ginny Leano Designs, Instagram at Ginny Designs, and the rest of my personal stuff, you can find the links from the pages that I've mentioned. And back to you, Jenni.
And you can find me, Jenni. You can find me over on Facebook, facebook.com/Jenni Matasek. That's Jenni with an I, Matasek. You can find me also over on Twitter and on Instagram at Chaos Bulldog. You can also find our show pages also over on Twitter at Noonas_podcast. Don't forget our underscore. You can also visit our show pages, our brand new show page over on Facebook, facebook.com. Just search for the Noonas Podcast over there. We have a brand new show place for our video form of our show, so you can see all the wonderful work that Ginny does every week, putting up pictures to give you guys a visual of our show to know what we're talking about.
And on YouTube as well. You can also check out our stuff on YouTube. Be sure to like, subscribe, and follow us.
Subscribe, click
notification bell, blah, 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 blah.
All that fun stuff. Hopefully we'll get some more video stuff happening in 2022. I don't know if we're going to get anything out for 2021 yet, but maybe for 2022, we'll shoot for some more video content. Otherwise, where else? You can also find us over on SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/Noonas Podcast, all one word. For the back catalog of our episodes of just audio only form. And I think that's it. And this has been an episode of the Noonas Podcast. Oh my God, I can't believe we're at the end of the year already.
I know. Time flies so fast.
It's been a year, and now I'm gonna go spiral over ATEEZ comeback announcements. Woohoo! That's my life.
Are you
now.
Celebrating, or when did we started this? So I think we passed by our anniversary date.
We've passed by our anniversary months ago. But yeah, we've been going over a year now, and wow.
Yeah.
Because this will be our second best of list that we're going to be doing this year. So hopefully it'll be a little more substantial. We'll see what happens with that best of. We'll probably have a guest on that for that episode too, who was trying to be on this week, but fortunately plans fell through. But
yeah. Well,
we'll see what happens, but
hopefully he'll be showing up for the 3-hour show in the end of the year. Woo!
Now if I can only get my boyfriend
of our K-pop episode.
It doesn't end with a Thanos snap, thankfully. We don't want another Thanos incident like we had earlier this year.
Snap.
Thanos Spotify snap. Yeah, we don't want that again. But I guess as always,
fighting.